You know, they say that wise people will watch the Trucker John live stream. Yes, that's what they say. Are you wise? Trucker John is about to start, so prepare yourself for some titillating conversation. They say I'm farting in court. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's my lawyer. It's the lawyer doing it. The other lawyer. Yay, Trucker John's about to come on. Yee-hoo-hoo-hoo. I got a little sun today. Well, it's the Trucker John show's about to come on, I guess. Well, lottie-da, lottie freaking da. Hey, man, stay tuned for Trucker John. Did I say? All right, enough of that. Mic's on. Okay, the mic is on that time. So you guys probably heard me slurping my coffee. I don't know what the hell happened on the first stream there. All of a sudden it just said, like, on this thing, it just said, like, an error has happened or something like that. I don't know. And it said live stream is ending due to some error. I don't know. So I don't know who made the error. I don't know if I made the error, or if the Prism app made the error, or if YouTube made the error, or if AT&T made the error, or Cox Wi-Fi or whatever made the. I don't know. Someone made an error apparently, and it might happen again. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. But thanks, guys, for coming back and finding me. It looks like we have like a whole different crowd than the first crowd. Carrie C is here. Kevin Hawthorne is here. I didn't see the first one, so Linus Kevin's here. It's funny, I didn't see any of you guys on the first stream, but you guys found the second one, so that's good. WW is here. Now, WW was here on the first one.
W says, when at first you don't succeed, my audio is weird. And I don't know, that might be on my end. I'm not sure what's going on with the audio. Big Hook is here. Yeah, first feed I couldn't access the live chat. That was because it had died or whatever, and then it just went to like a replay mode, I guess. And then where the live chat replay wasn't on there, sometimes it takes a little time, I guess. WW, I know why. Electro Pop. That's what did it, probably. Jeannie's here again. Good to see you. Thanks for finding us. I almost feel like, other than Jeannie and WW and Jolie's here, almost everybody else hasn't found the new stream, and we have all new people here. It's kind of funny. WW is going to go outside using his headphones. Big Hook says, hi, Jolie. Maple syrup. My maple syrup, honey. And Terry Taylor's here. Hi, TJ and chat. So, all right. I almost feel like it's a whole new group here. I hope the other group will find me. I did say that I did put a message in the other chat for the people that were already in there that could see the live chat. I did say, like, I have to start a new stream. So hopefully they'll find us, because there was like Pisces Greeter was over there, and Fancy, and who else was over there? Anyhow, hopefully they'll get the message, and we'll come on over here. And like I was saying on the first stream, that there's a lot of orange. I kind of apologize. I think I've kind of overdone the orange today. I'll have to remember, if I'm going to wear an orange shirt, I should probably change the background, or just not wear an orange shirt from now on. I think this might be the only orange shirt that I have. I think. So, it won't happen too much more. But I do think it's a little much. It's a bit much. And during that break, I was thinking about changing shirts, but then I was like, But I did manage to make myself a cup of coffee, which I didn't have before. So I got my coffee going. Big Hook says it's all John's fault. He is a fouler at fault. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Hopefully we'll keep the stream going. Hopefully it won't happen again. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. That was weird. It's never happened before. Believe I'm not joking. I mean, I'm serious. That's never happened before. So I don't know what to tell you. MJ Daniel says some woman turned left right in front of us yesterday. No idea how. She did not see us. Now we are down to one car, and we have to deal with the insurance people too. Pain in the butt. Wow, that sucks. I just hope everyone's okay, first of all. Sounds like you guys are physically okay. But now you got to put up with all the bullshit, right? So yeah, I hope that works out for you. Who knows, maybe you'll get a new car out of the deal or something. Big Hook says, so if you disappear, it's the shirt. Yeah, I might just disappear into the vast orangeness of oranginess. You know. Hopefully I won't get orange face. Bonnie Thompson here says, hi, you people. Yeah, some people are just really shitty drivers, I'm finding. I mean, I guess I've always known that, but I guess I didn't realize how bad, like, even other Uber drivers are until I started getting all the compliments from my riders about what a good driver I am. And then they will tell me these horror stories of the previous Uber driver they had who was a maniac, and they felt like jumping out of the car because they were so afraid, So I guess being a good driver takes a special skill. I possess certain skills, me and Liam Neeson, Robert Perez says, top of the morning to you driver and all truckers out there and about on the internets. Thanks for finding us, Robert. I did start another earlier stream and it went kaput, so I'm glad you found this one. Big Hook says Don had the same thing happen 2 weeks ago. And I've got the volume up on this a little bit. Let me turn this down so it doesn't interfere. Whoops. What have I done? Barney Thompson. Okay, we said hi to Barney already. W says, bummer, MJ. Daniel, I have a 14-year-old vehicle, one little wreck, and it will be totaled. Big Hook says, it is why they say you have to drive defensively, like everyone is trying to crash into you. Yeah, and just be aware of your surroundings, check your mirrors, check your, be attentive. I always thought it wasn't that hard, but apparently it is hard for some people. Walter Makarovich is here. Walter says, good morning, Trucker John. Did you see the new possible Trump grift? Melania is selling jewelry necklace for Mother's Day, only $240. Said it's going to Children's Hospital benefit. I'm skeptical. I am very skeptical also, and it's funny that they're using her to do this charity, so-called charity thing. She might be the only one in the family that's allowed to do it because I believe Trump and Junior and Eric and I think even Ivanka, didn't they get slapped with some sort of restriction because they were found to be, using their charities as slush funds basically, and the money wasn't going to the charities. So I think they are barred at least maybe in New York or Florida or something. I don't know, but they're barred from being able to run charities. And so and I don't think Melania was in on that. So now Melania, so they're like, she's the only one left that's allowed to run a charity, a charitable event, probably. I would be very hesitant to buy anything from them, and in hopes of the proceeds going to a charity. The proceeds are going to go into Donald Trump's pocket, more than likely. Robert Perez says, I was there when it went kaput, driver. Oh, okay. That was weird, wasn't it? I was talking and all of a sudden, and that's, to be expected, but anyhow. MJ Daniel, this is a 97 Honda CR-V, around 245,000 miles on it. Wow. Well, this is a while ago now. Gosh, how long has it been? Almost 10 years maybe already? God, time flies so fast. Because my son's already like 26. And I think when he was 16, or maybe he's a little later, because he didn't get his license at 16 like I did. He was a little... These kids today, they don't seem to be so much into driving like when we were kids, or when I was a kid. Because I got my driver's license at the earliest possible moment that I could get it. But anyhow, my son, I guess he was 17 or 18. He got his license, and then I kind of handed down to him my Toyota Echo that I had bought it brand new in was it 02 or something, and it had it was a really good shape car. I kept good care of it. The car ran great. Was still running great, run like a top. It looked really great. And my son had been driving, been using it for, I want to say, not even a couple months. And he got into a wreck. And it wasn't his fault. It was a lady. It was kind of like that. What was the situation? He was driving, and I think the lady just kind of came out of a side street, or something. And I think it... just kind of T-boned him type of deal. So he was totally found, it wasn't his fault. And the insurance company gave him, for this car, this old car, I forget how many miles it had on it. I don't think it had 200,000, but it was high, well over 100,000 miles on it. And 150 or something. And the car was still drivable and everything, but they went ahead and totaled it, and they gave him the insurance company. It was her insurance company paid, I think, if I remember correctly. Gave him a nice big fat check for way more than the car was worth. I mean, the car, if you did like before the wreck, the blue book on it was probably like $1,300 or something, if that. I don't even know. But I think they gave him a check for like, I want to say it was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 grand or 8 grand or something. And he went and bought not a new truck, but he went and bought a used Ford Ranger, which they still have, but by the way. And he was really happy. He was really happy. He really loved that truck. So, I was sad about the Echo. I loved my little Echo, but yeah, everyone was okay. That's the main thing. That's the first thing, is that everyone's okay. And like I said, so my son was able to go from the Echo into a Ford Ranger. Anyhow, so that's that. So I hope you get it all worked out. It's a hassle. First thing is, thank goodness that everyone's okay, and then now you got to go through all the hassle, you know. Fancy says, "Hey, Fancy found us. Thanks for coming. Thanks for finding the new stream. Hopefully, we won't have any more problems." Fancy says, "It is really an ugly necklace." I imagine, because I remember her taste in Christmas decorating was pretty horrible. So I can't imagine that some necklace she's putting out would be any better. MJ Daniels says she is getting seriously mocked for it too. I bet. WW says, had an old lady pull out in front of me the last time, took forever to get fixed, and only a right fender dent. Yeah, it can be a hassle, that's for sure. Barney says, why does everyone always forget Eric? I said Eric. Walter McCaravich says, hey Jolie, hope you are well. WW says, Eric is the patsy and Waltine Nauta. It will be all their faults. Trump is innocent. His son and the butler made him steal all those documents. Well, Trump might try to pin this on Eric or whomever, but Trump's going to go down. He's going to go down for it. Big Hook says, one trick I learned that a lot of people need to do is when traveling in stream of traffic, stay out of people's blind spot. People don't check when changing lanes. That's for sure. You see them coming over, and you're like, ah. Big Hook says, people who race in parking lots is another accident waiting to happen. Okay, Pisces Greeter found us. All right, so glad you're back over here. Pisces Greeter saying hello to everybody. And Fancy says, Trump looks really upset when he walked through the hallway at court. He's not handling it well. But you know what I say? I say, Trump, you're getting what you deserve. If you were feeling uncomfortable and you don't like being in court, then you shouldn't have done all this stupid shit you did. You stupid motherfucker. That was me talking to Trump, by the way. If Trump happens to see this, I just want to say, fuck you. Because you're an asshole. And you're dumb. And I hope that you fucking rot in some holding cell somewhere. If they can't put you in a prison, just make a little fucking holding cell. And you can just rot there. Pisces Reader says, Trump looks awful. Biden is older and looks a lot better. Yeah, because he doesn't have all that guilt around him. Joe Biden, I think, has led a pretty good life. I mean, we all make mistakes. We all have regrets of things we've done. I'm sure Joe Biden does too, but nothing to the extent that Donald Trump does. And I think, I think Donald Trump really has gone through his life feeling really shameless and guilt-free. The only thing he doesn't like is he just doesn't like now he's getting caught for it and has to answer to it, and he stands to lose everything. You know, his money and his freedom, which is, you know, priceless, right? So I don't think he feels bad. Like, I don't think he has any type of guilt. I think he just feels bad because he doesn't like having to go through this shit. And to which, again, I say, tough shit. You deserve it, Trump. You deserve every bit of discomfort you feel right now. You deserve that and more. Pisces Greeter says karma is a B word, right? It is. It's a big old B word. Big giant B word. Walter McCarvich says, by the way, trucker, no more 10,000 steps. I was hoping you were doing one tomorrow night at the hockey game. I don't know. I think I put that all on hold because when I did those 2,000 steps, it really was tearing up my knee and my ankles, and it was taking me like 3 or 4 days to recover just from walking. It's just pretty pathetic. Very pathetic. You know, that I can't even walk 10,000 steps. But I think I'm going to get back into it slowly and do some walking. And I'll do we'll do some videos. We'll start doing some videos again, but I don't think I'm going to it's not going to be like a 10,000 step mandate. You know what I mean? It's just going to be whatever I do. Maybe just 3,000 or 4,000 steps or whatever. I seem to do that okay for now. And maybe I can build myself up to 10,000 at some point. But yeah, I will try to get some more walking in. I didn't go to the hockey game or anything like that. I was driving. I think I was doing Uber during that. But yeah, we'll get back out there. I just need to get a little bit better in shape, I guess. I don't know. WW says, I can't believe that they will ever put him in prison. I know that might be a bit of a pipe dream, but they are going to find him guilty, and they are going to have to do something, because this is now we're talking criminal, so it's not just fines, right? So I mean, he's looking at time. So I don't know. There's got to be some way that they can just stick him in his ass in fucking prison somewhere. I mean, if you could put Hannibal Lecter in solitary confinement or whatever, then just put Trump in solitary, you know, and then pass a bill once we get the House and the Senate back and the White House. Somebody, I forget who it was, but I don't know if they were talking about introducing a bill about if you get convicted of a felony, you lose your. Well, I don't know if it was just about losing your pension but I think it was about losing your Secret Service protection, and they just passed that fucking law and send him in prison, put him in gin pop for all I care. He can get fucking shanked and shivved and all that kind of shit for all I care. Terry Taylor says, I wish the election was over, Biden reelected, take the House, keep the Senate, and work toward expanding SCOTUS, codifying abortion rights, and so much more. Me too. I think we're all chomping at the bit, right? We can't wait for November to get here. And so, you know, it's going to be November. That's all I got to say. And I know we're all chomping at the bit. I know the Terry Taylors of the world are chomping at the bit. The Trucker Johns of the world are chomping at the bit. We're going to show up. We're going to show up. And, you know, so we got to do. We got to do it. We just got to do it. And I am all in favor of all those things you brought up, Terry. WW says, yep, I've been outside mowing. Yep, he's been outside mowing. And working with my fencing guys. Touche, you guys are fencing. They did the hard work, but I am beat. Big Hook, the testimony in the Stormy case, along with the paperwork trail, is making it next to impossible to deny he committed election fraud. Hopefully, this hurts his chances with his base. I think his base is shrinking. If you saw on Hal Sparks last night, he covered that rally he did in Michigan. He's out at an airfield. I bet you there wasn't more than like 100 people there. I don't know. And he wants to talk like he gets these big crowds. He couldn't go to an arena because he can't fill it. He can't even, half fill it. I think he's losing his base. And you can see that in these primaries where he, instead of getting, 90% of the vote, he's getting 70% of the vote. And Nikki Haley, who dropped out months ago, is getting, a third of the vote or whatever. Maybe not a third, but she's getting, a substantial amount of votes. I think it takes a while. That the masses are asses because it takes a while for things to filter through, and as more and more of this stuff comes out of his felonies, people are starting to fall away. So at least that's the way I see it. I have no facts to back this up, as the late great Herman Cain once said. WW says the judge is already letting him get by with more than most would be allowed. Well, yeah, that is true, but he did fine him, and the judge was saying, like, I think that just fining him isn't enough. He might need to go do jail time for that. Terry Taylor says, Pisces, indeed, I'm just so full of anxiety. Well, Terry, I know these are anxious times, but just before you know it, it's going to be voting time, and I really think, like I said, it's going to be Rovember. It's going to be roar. Maybe we should call it Roar-vember. It's like, I am woman, hear me roar. It's going to be Roar-vember, man. WW says, just move for 5 minutes out of an hour and breathe, climb stairs up and down 6 times a day. You will live longer according to the CDC. Yeah, I know. I need to move more. And I do, because I have a really tough time with stairs now for some fucking reason. So I need to work on that. WW, don't just sit all day like so many old people do. I know, and I've spent the last 20 plus years sitting on my ass in that goddamn truck, and now in the goddamn Uber. Pisces says, so true, W. Everyday regular person would have been put in jail right away. Not fair if you're rich and feel. Well, I agree that there are, the rich do get breaks and stuff like that. But I think it's a little more than that. I mean, I think being a former president, it does even make it even more so. Not just the fact that he's rich or supposedly rich. I think being a former president, it adds a whole new layer of not only because of the Secret Service detail and they can't put him in jail because of that, which I think is bullshit, but just the fact that this whole thing about going after political rivals and how it looks like I fully, wholeheartedly believe that Trump, that all these charges against him are warranted. All these felony counts are warranted, and it's not because it's not going after a political rival, like Putin would do to Navalny or whatever. It is not that, but to some people that's the appearance of it. So that's why I think the DOJ and this judge and whoever, they have to handle this with kid gloves, I guess, Is it kid gloves? Kid gloves? I always never knew if it's kid gloves or kid gloves. I guess it's kid gloves? With kid gloves. Whatever the fuck. I don't even know what kid gloves are. Other than little tiny gloves that an adult can't wear. I don't know. And then why did I think it was kit gloves? Like it's a kit? That expression, no matter what, does not make sense to me. Other than the fact that I know it means you have to handle something carefully and gingerly. But I don't know what that has to do with kid gloves. Or maybe kid gloves are cheaper and they fall apart easier, so you have to do it. You have to be careful. I don't know. Some of these expressions are weird and so antiquated that it's hard to know what the origin is. WW says, I came from a small town. My dad was a preacher man at the biggest church in town. He was the biggest fish in the smallest pond. Or something like that. Pice Reader says, Terry Taylor, so sorry to hear that. Please have faith. Everything will be fine. Please know that. Positive thinking. Well, let's think positively, but let's not be naive either. I mean, we got to vote. We got to do the work. We got to get out there and vote. We got to encourage others to vote. Do that whole thing, Bring someone with you to the polling place or whatever, WW says, one of my best friend's dad's was a sheriff who was also a friend of my dad's. I could not get arrested if I wanted. So what you're saying is you had connections. WW had connections. Pisces Greater, I feel women and the young people will make a difference this time when it comes to voting. I don't know, they've been talking about the young people lately, how they're not going to show up or they're pissed off about Gaza or whatever. So I don't know I'm not sure if we can count on the young people. I think we're going to have to count on the women and the women advocates, such as myself. I think I'm a woman advocate. We'll see about the young people. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Pisces Greer says, I agree, John. More so with ex-presidents get away with it more. A lot of ex-presidents, this guy is setting precedent, I think, of, there hasn't been any ex-presidents that have committed the amount of crimes that this guy has. I mean, this is kind of like uncharted territory as far as like, being brought up on 91 felony counts. I mean, that's never been done before. I don't think there's any president that's ever been brought up on even one felony account. Hey, Donna O's here. Hello to you, Donna O. Good. Thanks for finding the stream. If I don't know if you went on there's probably another one that's on there on the YouTube. That one went kaputs after about 8 or 9 minutes or 10 minutes, I think. But you found the right one. We're here. This is the place to be right here. Pisces Reader says yes. Voting helps. Voting, voting is essential. Voting is the main thing. That's the main thing that you and I that we have. That's our number one big power, and it's a huge power. So we need to utilize it. Don't take it for granted. That's what I'm trying to say, in my own kind of way. Michael McAndrews, hey Mike, good to see you. Says got to vote and speak out against what Trump has done. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Big Hook, are you on top messages? Oh, let me check. No, I'm on all messages. It's on all. It's on all messages. I'm not going to read every single message. So if I skipped one, it's because I cannot read every single message, or I will just constantly be like 30 minutes behind in the chat. So if I skipped something that you said, it's not a slight against you. It's just a time-saving measure, I guess. WW says, Uncle Joe could pardon him if he just agreed to concede the election and go away. Well, that would be stupid. You don't concede an election. No. I mean, I understand, like, and it's, we're just talking here. I know that's probably just a thought, but for one thing, I don't know, but that's kind of funny, kind of interesting. Let's see. Pisces Grader says that stinks to hear the young people may not vote. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's just me spouting off my shit. I might be talking out of my ass a little bit. I haven't really seen any sort of like, polling data but I just over these last few days with the college protesting going on, and I thought somebody was saying, I don't know if it was Michael Moore or where it was. But they were saying that Biden was losing, or at least with this certain demographic, right? The younger demographic was going away a little bit. I don't know. I think it's because of this Gaza thing. But to say they're not going to vote for him, I mean, it's still going to be a lot, I guess, to vote for him. I don't know. I guess we'd have to find out, get some polling info on that. But yeah, it is sad. It does stink because whoever's protesting, I think they're taking their anger out on the wrong people. If you don't like the way things have been done over there, I think you should focus your ire, is that the word, ire, on Netanyahu. and then they'll say, well, we should divest and we should from them, from whatever, from anything Israel. Stop sending them money and all kinds of stuff. And they, like I said the other day, I said I think that they might. Anthony Blinken's been over there. Now I haven't seen the news today, as you guys know. I think I was still eating breakfast as the first stream was going on. I haven't seen any news today, but I know Blinken has been over there working tirelessly to get a deal going, to get them to cease fire and to get Hamas to release hostages and all that kind of stuff. And I know Biden and Blinken and everyone else, they've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work, trying to get this thing worked out. But I think I think we're finding a lot of these protests, they had, like we were talking on Tuesday, these agent provocateurs, these saboteurs, they've got outsiders coming in to stir up shit, man. And, a lot of these kids, I think, and they're getting information from TikTok or whatever. Man, consider your sources, people. Get verified sources. Trusted sources. Don't just believe the first thing you see. But anyhow, as far as the vote is concerned, and how that demographic is going to show up. I mean, they'll probably still. The majority, I bet, are still going to be in Joe's corner, Michael McAndrews, I've never seen anybody lie as much as Trump. Me either. I mean, he is a pathological liar, and I have known people like that. I had a guy I worked with who was a pathological liar. And every time I hear Trump speak, I think of that guy, because it's like they can't help themselves. It's pathological. He just cannot help himself. Let's see what we have here. Joe B is here. Hey Joe, good to see you. I don't know if I've ever seen Joe B in the chat before, so thanks for being here. And make sure you hit the like and the subscribe and the share button for me, if you could. That would be awesome. That helps the show grow. The show wants to grow. The show has told me that it would like to grow. So, but Joe B says, "What did Hal say about young people not voting?" I don't know. That's what I was trying. I don't know if it was Hal. I was just saying that I remember hearing something, and it might have been on Hal's show, or it might have been a clip from Michael Moore, or it might have been other clips from other shows. So I don't know. I don't know, Joe, if Hal actually said anything. But I was just searching somewhere in this noggin for where I was hearing, and I think I heard it more than once in more than one place about there might be some the young voters. Some of the young voters might not be voting for Biden because of this whole Gaza thing. But I don't know if Hal actually said it or whatever. I don't know, Joe. I'm not. So don't quote me on that. Pisces doesn't trust the polls. Don't trust trolls or polls. Michael says they would be crazy to let Trump win. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we all know, right? You and I in the chat here, we all know that Trump would be horrible, and any of these things that they are concerned about, Trump would be a horrible alternative. Horrible. So you and I know that. I guess the challenge is to get that information to them. You know what I mean? W says, if half the courts had agreed that the election was iffy, then Trump might have had a better case. Yeah, but they didn't. Rudy Giuliani put up, what was it, like 60 cases trying to say that the vote was rigged or whatever, and all 60 of them were like basically thrown out because they did. It's one thing to go in front of cameras and news cameras and spat a bunch of shit, but when you're in court, you got to bring the receipts, as the kids say. Talking about kids, right? You got to bring the receipts. You got to bring some proof. You got to bring some evidence. And they brought as one might say, bupkis. They brought bupkis. Is that the word? They brought, let's just say, they brought diddly, diddly squat. I think that's the official lawyering term. It was diddly squat, and every single court they took it into, they said, you have brought a good sir a diddly squat. So would you please remove your stinky ass from my court? 60 times they were told to do that. So yeah. Pisces Greeter says, if Trump is president again, hopefully not. I wish I could leave my country because we will not have the same country if he's in again. Very scary. Yeah, I know. I hear you, Pisces Greeter. I hear you. I just shudder to think, W says they need to send embassy back to Tel Aviv where all the real diplomacy happens anyway. Yeah, see, that was another dumb move that Trump did. Big Hook says if Europe and the Western countries restrict help for Israel, then the nuclear weapons risk in World War III possibilities rise. Israel has enemies. Yeah, I understand all that. And I think that we would still, there's got to be a way that we could stop providing aid to Israel or, military aid to Israel, like during this particular thing, but still let the world know that if they try to attack Israel, that we will be there to defend them. You know what I mean? We're not, like they have to sort of pin it down to say, okay, for this particular thing, we're done. We're not going to help you with that. But hey, rest of the world, just know that we are still here. If you try to all of a sudden do this onslaught against Israel, that no, we're not going to stand for that either. And that's why this thing is tricky. I mean, that's why it's not so easy. Like these kids on the campuses are screaming like, stop sending money, stop sending weapons to Israel. But it's tricky, right? I mean, we also don't want Israel to get swallowed up by the rest of the Middle East. So it's not as easy as it looks. And you can go and shout a bunch of shit on a campus somewhere, 5,000 miles away or whatever it is. But, the realities of it are a lot more complex, right? Michael McAndrews says, Pisces, we have to be strong and stick it out. We will do okay. Well, hopefully, just stick together and don't boo, vote. It's like my favorite Obama quote of all time, I think, is don't boo, vote. W says he's going to get a cabin in British Columbia and a condo in Toronto. Well, look at you. You're not going to have just one little escape pod. You're going to have two. La-ti-da. Pisces Greener says, I'm sure no one listens to Fox News. I don't. I know I don't. Well, I don't know about that. They still have a pretty big viewership, I think. W says, I agree. Michael McAndrews, no POTUS has the real ability to change our lives and that. Well, I don't know. I mean, if he becomes a dictator, if he's able to somehow figure out how to I don't know. I mean, I know it does seem a bit preposterous, but he can make life the power of the bully pulpit is pretty powerful. If Trump got back in the White House, I think that would also mean that we probably wouldn't get the House back, and we might even lose the Senate. If it goes that way, then watch out. Look what they're doing with reproductive rights in these red states, and look what the Supreme Court has done. I mean, and they had the Supreme Court. So if Trump got back into the White House, and he's got the Supreme Court, and he has either branch of Congress, they can start doing all kinds of shit, way more than they've already done. That's all they got to do. Is start with the court. They got the court in their pockets. I don't think it's as far-fetched as some people might think. And I don't want to scare anybody, but that's why we got to vote, folks. And we got to vote for Joe Biden, and we got to vote for Democrats, really down ticket. And a lot of people, they don't like to say that. They don't like that because it's like, I'm not a sheep, and I'm not going to just vote just all for Democrats because I'm not a sheep, God damn it. Like if I say vote blue no matter who, I'm not a sheep. I'm independent, and I'm vote. Well, fine, be independent, but I'm just saying, especially when it comes to the U.S. Congress and the U.S. president, I think we got to vote blue all through there. Got to vote blue all through. When we're talking about, getting those numbers, getting those, so we can hold the majorities, and then we can actually do some shit. Michael McAndrews, Joe B. Who's Joe B? Joe B is Joe B. Who knows? Who knows? This might be our opportunity to actually say something to the president. Joe B. We got Joe B in the house. What does the B stand for? Mr. President. WW says, old white people see the world in a certain way that never existed. We never were a white Christian nation. Even during the Revolution, there were more Native Americans. I suppose so. Michael McAndrews says, to let you know, I am always in a good mood. I don't like Trump. I kid around a lot. And I am very sarcastic sometimes. Well, there you go. And that's okay. WW says, the last Indian War was during the Mexican Revolution in Arizona in 1918. Thank you for that little bit of history. Big Hook says, protest is fine, but fundraising for humanitarian aid for Gaza, Yemen, and Darfur would be better messaging. Well, that's because a lot of this stuff is not, it is AstroTurf. It's not, that's what I'm saying. There's outsiders, I believe, that are ginning these things up and they're getting these kids all excited and worked up based on disinformation. That's the problem. Disinformation. I believe. WW says, thousands of refugees at our border when we need workers desperately looks bad for a rich nation such as ourselves. It looks bad, and you can thank the Republicans for that. WW says, better to allow them in and keep track of them like we always have. Aliens are required to register regularly. Uncle Joe B. Midas Kevin Anderson says, a vote for Joe B is the way to be. There you go. But anyhow, I think that I haven't heard any. I'm totally in the dark. I don't know what's going on with what the latest is with these. If anything new has come out from these negotiations, I know that Blinken has been over there and he's been trying to work with Israel, with Netanyahu, and Hamas, and Blinken the other day was saying that there's a very, very good deal out there, and that they just need to agree to it. They're trying to get Netanyahu on board, I think. I don't know. I don't know the latest, though. Joe B says, they openly admitted they want to track women so they can't travel for abortion. Yeah, that's the whole, that's some scary shit, man. I mean, that's some really scary shit. What, and who could be on board with that? I think that's one of the reasons why I think Trump supporters are kind of peeling away little by little. The more and more that comes out about this really gross authoritarian position, especially when talking about women's reproductive rights and women's bodily autonomy, the more that stuff comes out about how they want to just restrict that and control that, they should certainly be losing the women's vote. And I know there are some women that are MAGA and all that kind of stuff. But I think, I don't know, I just can't see them to be growing support off of those type of positions. You know, if it wasn't for gerrymandering, as far as the House is concerned, that's where gerrymandering really is effective. We would never be losing the House, the Democrats. So, yeah, I just don't see how they can continue to run on those type of issues when those things are, or those are things that are coming out. You know, I just don't see it. Robert Perez, you look like Choker John. You look like a cartoon of ice cold OJ, refreshing. I know. I'm just orange on orange. Just so much orange. Well, I think it's orange overkill. Big Hook says instigators are trying to make a Reichstag, fire moment to seize control of the subject and to make infighting in Democrats caucus divide and conquer mythology. It's absolutely Big Hook. That's a pretty spot on analysis, I would say. Yeah, conquer within. Get the Democrats to fight, because we've been getting along pretty well, I think, on most issues until this. This has been a big one, a big divider. The Gaza war, Israeli-Gaza war, and what I've noticed. I mean, these pro-Palestinian protesters popped up overnight. After 10/7, right here in Vegas, there were all of a sudden hundreds of protesters showing up to protest. And it was like literally overnight. And I'm like, where the fuck did all these people come from all of a sudden in Vegas? And it just seemed weird to me. It didn't seem natural. There was something, unnatural about it. Like, propped up is what I mean, WW says, grew up with two sisters and a mom, periods all the time. Okay. One would end. Yeah. Okay. They didn't have to tell me, but I knew. Yeah, because, they get a little bitchy. I probably shouldn't say that. WW says, need a jacket of or a vest to break it up. I was thinking about changing shirts during that when the first stream went, and then I was just like, just go with it. We'll just put up with it today. I'm wearing my Apple Valley Sun Devil high school reunion. Like, for me, what was it, 45 years school reunion? Although it was a group thing, they did a bunch of classes together. It was the 69 to 79 classes. Big Hook says, Russia and Chinese disinformation is everywhere. Beware, the enemy is trying to manipulate us. Yeah, that's right. Take everything with a grain of salt. Try to consider your sources. Try to get verifiable sources, cross-checking, and all that kind of stuff. And I know we don't always do that. We don't always have the time to do that. But if you're going to go to a protest and you're going to carry signs, and if someone sticks a microphone in front of your face and a camera, and you're going to say some shit, then you probably should know your shit a little bit better. It's one thing to just, say stuff amongst your friends or, your family or whatever. But if you're going to actually go out and protest and stage a big sit-in type of thing and all that kind of shit, then maybe you should check your sources. Maybe before you actually commit to that and throw yourself out there, put yourself out there, maybe you might want to do a little cross-checking, maybe get some reliable sources and not just something off of TikTok, or maybe not just something off of, freepalestine.org or .com or whatever it would be. Maybe do some cross-checking, maybe, try to use that college brain. These are college kids, for Christ's sakes. A lot of them are at Ivy League schools. Try to use those big brains you know how to look shit up. You guys aren't stupid. You guys have high SAT scores. You know how to do research. Do some fucking research. You know how to get verified, reliable research. You know how to cross-check things and verify. Come on, don't be so fucking stupid. There, that's my message to the kids of today. Don't be so fucking stupid. And I know someone's probably going to say, oh, you're just an old boomer and you shouldn't be putting down the kids of today. I'm not putting them down. It's just some friendly advice. Is use your big brains to actually do a little research. And so that when someone sticks a microphone in your face and asks you, why are you here? You don't just give some sort of, word salad. You actually have something that is backed up by facts. Joe B says, outsiders are definitely fueling the fire just like they did BLM. Exactly. I mentioned that before. Minus Kevin says, I guess the judge finally decided to kill Chad. I see no more number trial days. I don't know who Chad is. No more number trial days. I have no idea who Chad is. MJ Daniel says, trying to divide Democratic voters just like 2016. They are trying, for sure. And I feel confident. I don't want to be overconfident, but I do feel fairly confident that I think a lot of us have learned the lesson of 2016. Because I was one of those folks. Going into the election, all the way up to election day, I thought Hillary had it in the bag. I was believing the polls. I was believing it when it was like, Trump has a 3% chance of winning and all this kind of shit. And I fully, wholeheartedly, 100% believed Hillary Clinton was going to be our next president. And I was looking forward to her as president. And then election day happened and it was like a fucking, punch to the gut, right? It was just, it was a horrible day. One of the most horrible days, I think, in our history when Trump was winning. And it was like, what the fuck is going on here? This can't be happening, but it did. And, I think, hopefully we've learned our lesson about, not taking anything for granted, pretty much, disregarding the polls, and just voting, making sure we all just vote. We don't sit home. We don't cry. We don't, want just everything to be perfect. We understand that not everything is perfect. We're never going to have the perfect candidate, and you just have to choose the best one and you have to get out there and vote. And I think that, I think we learned our lesson, hopefully. So and you can see, in 2020, we showed up pretty resoundingly, right? For 83 million votes for Biden or whatever it was, or 86 million, and kicked Trump's ass. And in the midterms, we kicked ass. That there was no big red wave. They just barely squeaked out some victories. So I think we're going to continue in that trend. I don't think that's going to stop. Hopefully, but again. If learning the lesson from 2016, we don't take anything for granted. So we need to vote, and we need to encourage everyone to vote. And we need to expose Trump for being the lying, cheating, manipulating, grifting, con man, piece of shit that he is. WW says everybody is supposed to keep a yellow vest in their cars. I don't have one either, but I have one. I have several, but I didn't. I have worn that on the live stream before, if you recall. I have worn my safety vest. before. In fact, if you want, I'll go get it. If that's what you really want. It's a day glow type of a deal. There. Are you happy now? It has orange in it too. But this is my, let's see, which one is this? This is my safe driver that Schneider gave me for being a safe driver. So, I don't know if that helps or not. It kind of almost made it worse, I think. But anyhow, it says, W says, Palestinians killed Gaza, 33,100 children. Wait. 33,000 children killed in Gaza? More than 13,000 people killed in Israel, about 1,200 Palestinians killed in the West Bank, 446 people killed in Lebanon, at least 40. I thought the total number of killed is 33,000, not 33,000 children. And those are numbers I think are just coming from Hamas. I don't know who's verifying them. I don't know if the Red Cross is verifying these numbers or any other institutions or organizations. I don't know if that's just purely the numbers that we're relying on from Hamas. So I would take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, but in any case, it's horrible. It's horrible what's going on. War is horrible. War is hell. Terry Taylor says, sorry, I had to deal with a wasp problem. They were getting into my bedroom via gaps in my window. Ooh. Yeah, you don't want wasps in your house. Let's see. I feel like I shouldn't touch anything because it might break or something. But anyhow. W says, that's it. Perfect. Okay. Midas Kevin says, if you listen to Chad Daybell trial, you'd know John. I didn't listen to that trial. Come on, this is Midas Touch. Their crime network has been covering. I don't really watch Midas Touch all that much. I know a lot of you guys like them. I really don't like those guys. I mean, they're good. I guess they're liberals, whatever. I guess they're all ex-lawyers or former lawyers, and there's just something about them. I just don't like them. They just seem, I don't know, too commercial or something. But I don't follow them all that much. I got things to do. I got Ubers to drive. W says, breaks it up, matches the sign. Okay. W says, exactly, UNESCO. Jolie says, my dad gave me one of those vests. He wanted me to wear it on my walk so I don't get hit by a car. I've been noticing a lot of homeless people somehow, they get these safety vests. And I'm like, that's a pretty good idea because they're always walking around. I wish more of them would wear them because a lot of them are wearing dark clothes and at night, and homeless people seem to not really give a fuck about jaywalking. They kind of have an attitude about that, which, okay, I understand. It's a tough life living on the street. Some of them I think might be suicidal and trying to get hit, maybe. Maybe the cops should issue safety vests to all the homeless people. And maybe put a sandwich in one of the pockets. Because this thing has pockets. See, there's a pocket here, right here. And oh, and there's another pocket over here that has pockets on each side. Look at this one, even has like a little Velcro thing. You could put like a sandwich in there, and maybe a juice box. I'm just saying. You know, could you give them a sandwich or something? Anyhow. WW says Hamas does not count anywhere but in Gaza. Well, I don't think it was 33,000 children did. I think 33 plus number was, you know, is the total number, including Hamas soldiers, by the way. Big Hook, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant wasps are dangerous, Terry. WW is supposed to wear them for construction. That and a hard hat. I also have a hard hat, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I had like a regular hard hat, you know, like a real hard hat. But then I also have like a fake hard hat. Let's see. Okay, now this isn't like an official, like sanctioned hard hat, but I do have a real, actual hard hat that you could wear on, like on a construction site. But this was my Rams one. This is actually from the St. Louis Rams. I should get a new one for LA if I want. But anyhow, I've had this one for a long time. You can see it's kind of faded, but. I've gotten away with wearing this because there's sometimes in trucking where you go into facilities where they want you to wear a hard hat, even if you're just sitting in your truck, even if you never get out of your truck. So I always had to have a hard hat in the truck with me. So I did have like a real, actual OSHA, you know, approved or whatever. And then I had this one, and a lot of times I would just put this one on, and they would count this as a hat because I think it's pretty good. I think it is actually pretty a good one. But yeah, so I got this hard hat. So look at me. I've got my hard hat on. I got my safety vest. I'm feeling safe over here. I need to fix my backdrop. I don't know what's going on. But anyhow, we'll do that later. WW says, I am wasp as fuck. I am harmless no matter what you heard. Well, I don't know. You might sting. You might be able to sting a little bit. Donna, all the orange hurts my eyes. I know, this is just orange out. Terry Taylor says, how do you think Biden should handle the Gaza situation, John? Unfortunately, many progressives and many college kids are blaming him for, yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Terry, which makes no sense. Putin propaganda infiltrates the L2. Yeah, I don't know, maybe you were chasing out the wasps, or who's had the wasps? Was it Terry? Well, anyhow. But yeah, we just kind of went over all that. I think that Joe Biden is doing a hell of a job. You know, him and Blinken and his team. I don't think they've stopped since probably the first retaliation in October. They've been working on getting Netanyahu to, you know, to work to respond and within reason. You know. I think that they're doing all that they can. And you know, Joe Biden has been able to get aid in there. They built a temporary dock so they could take things in from the ocean. They've done airdrops. They've been able to get trucks, negotiate to get from just a few trucks a day into like hundreds of trucks a day. I think maybe even thousands of trucks a day now are going in with food and medicine. And that's all because of Joe Biden and his negotiating with even like maybe Egypt and other places around, and trying to negotiate and work with Netanyahu and with Hamas. I think they're doing everything that they can. And yeah, there is a lot of disinformation out there. And that's what I was saying. These kids, if you're gonna go out and protest and actually put you're putting your safety on the line these days, especially, it seems like. We saw what happened in some of these fights and some of these breakups and some of the police action. You're putting your health and well-being on the line. If you're going to go out and do that and put yourself where, and I've seen some of these kids do some of these interviews where a reporter puts a mic in front of their face and asks them, why are you here? What's going on? And they're just like, blah, 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 blah. It's like a word salad thing. And I'm saying, hey, you kids are smart. A lot of you kids are Ivy Leaguers, even USC or UCLA. You guys are smart kids. You're college kids. You're not stupid. You should be able to learn how to do some research and how to cross-check things and cross-verify things. You don't just take the first thing you see on TikTok as being, religion or as being the gospel truth. Do a little research and consider your source. Are you getting everything from the freepalestinian.org page, which is probably all put up by some sort of Russian troll bot farm in Macedonia or something? Where consider the source of your information before you go to a picket line or to a college campus to protest. Maybe do a little research, a verifiable fucking research, like you're researching a goddamn term paper, for God's sakes. If you can't put that kind of effort into it, then you shouldn't be there, as far as I'm concerned. Michael Manners, what's next? Goggles? Oof. I do have some goggles somewhere too. I don't know where those are though. I've got safety goggles or safety glasses. Damn it. It's probably, I'm looking, there's a box right in front of me, and I bet it's in that box, but there's so much crap in that box, I don't feel like digging through it. But I bet you there's some safety goggles or big safety glasses. I could put those on. But I really don't feel like digging through that box. I'm trying to think. I'm looking in my closet, if there's anything in that closet. It probably is. So it's either in that closet or in that box right there. Yeah, I've got safety glasses. W says just need to have a slightly less orange background. Yeah, well, I thought about all that. We're kind of regurgitating some of the conversation. I'm not going to, do all that now. What I really need to do is fix this damn green screen, because that is what's bugging me right there. What that is, that's the green screen that's kind of like folded. It's not flat, and so it's causing a weird thing, and I don't like that. That's the thing I don't like. You guys don't like all this orange and this orange shirt and blend, and there's causing a weird thing here. I wonder if I could dial this in a little bit better though over here. Let's see. There's color saturation. Whoops. Let's see here. Ooh, look at there. A little too much. Oh shit. Damn it. Why did I do that? Now I'm getting pissed because I'm trying to slide this. It's like a little slider and it's not sliding. There, look at there. I like that. I actually kind of like that. It really makes my my goat pop. Huh? All right, guys. This is really frustrating. I think that's a little much. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I better just leave it alone. I think I may have made it worse, where I'm actually blending in more. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. WW says disproportionate amount of Arab deaths, way out of line. Like I said, war is hell. War is awful, and maybe Hamas should have thought of that before they committed the fucking atrocity that they committed on 10/7. Hey, Seha, good to see you. It says, has Trucker John turned into a carrot? Maybe. Well, that's orange. But thanks, Seha. Thank you for being here. Michael McAndrews, I can see right through you, John. Big Hook says climate change is going to exacerbate things in the Middle East as food and water becomes scarcer. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of, famines and things if we keep going the way we're going. W says that's better. Jolie says, I was watching a live stream of protesters in New York City on TV2 Live's channel last night. Made me so mad. Those kids are out there just partying away and protesting, having a grand old time. Jolie says, I think my protest for or against either side is so disrespectful. I think any protest for or against either side is so disrespectful to all the people they lost on both sides. And I think that a lot of this pro-Palestinian stuff is astroturf. It's not grassroots, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. And granted, yes, it's horrible what's going on. And I do think that Netanyahu and I guess the IDF or whatever has overreacted, I guess. But they are still being attacked by Hamas. And Hamas fires rockets, from hospitals and from schools and from where civilians are. And they use their own people as shields, human shields. So I don't think you can just blame everything on Netanyahu or on the Israeli Defense Force. That's by design. Hamas uses their own people as human shields. And from what I've seen videos where Israel does send out warnings far in advance that they're going to bomb this certain area. They're going to hit it with airstrikes. And they've been giving people warning that I've seen. I've seen the videos. And I've seen people, they evacuate. But at some point, does Israel need to switch from just airstrikes into making it a ground war, where they just go into these neighborhoods and they can find tunnels and they can blow them up that way instead of doing airstrikes. It's a longer, more tedious, and maybe more dangerous for the soldiers on the ground, for sure. But that's what we did in Iraq, right? We were doing door-to-doors. I mean, after we bombed the fuck out of them, then we sent in troops and we were doing door-to-door searches, kicking in doors, looking for people that weren't supposed to be there. That's what Israel's going to have to do if they really want to. If they really want to just, get all of the Hamas soldiers, as many as they can. They're going to have to. I think they're going to have to go boots on the ground, door to door, search out the tunnels. Blow those tunnels up from the ground, instead of doing all these airstrikes or calling it in from the ground. They can call in airstrikes from the ground after they said, the civilians are out or whatever. It's a longer, more tedious thing, but I think that's what they're going to have to do. But I'm not a soldier and I'm not an expert, so what the fuck do I know? I have a hard hat on though. WW says the American way, really freedom of expression and just don't break the law. No, I don't think that's Jolley's point, though. Are they there to party, or are they there for an actual cause? And is the cause that they are believing in supposedly a righteous cause? Are they getting the right information? I think that's my concern, and maybe Jolley's concern too. Alvin Stoop says it shows how divided we are. And I was just thinking that too, that old axiom, is that an axiom? Divided we fall, united we stand, and we need to be united. At least because they were talking about, this is what Randy Rhoads was talking about yesterday, right? About how there's a civil war in the Democratic Party now because of this, because of the Israeli-Gaza war. And I think at the end of the day, though, I think we can agree to disagree. We can agree that it's okay to have differences of opinions, but at the end of the day, we need to all be united when it comes to voting. And I think most reasonable people, if you really are a reasonable person, you should be able to discern the differences between a Joe Biden and a Donald Trump. How would Donald Trump handle the Israeli-Gaza war differently than Joe Biden? And would he be better or would he be worse? That's what, at the end of the day, we need to come together on that. We can have differences opinion about how the war should be handled and all that kind of stuff. And if Israel is right, and if they have the right to defend themselves, and if they've gone overboard with overkill, we can all have those our opinions on that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, when it comes to November 5th, voting day, we need to all come together, and we really need to be, I think, in agreement that Joe Biden is the better chance of there ever being any peace in the Middle East, and there being any shot at any type of a two-state solution, any shot of even just, we're not even there yet. I mean, of just getting this war shut down, and starting to try to stop the bombs and stop the killing, and try to just get people fed and sheltered. If you have any desire for that to happen, then I think we all need to agree that there's a much, much better chance of that happening with Joe Biden as the president than Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck. Does not give a fuck about the Palestinian people. And as far as he's concerned, he would just tell Netanyahu, just have at it. Just bomb them back to the Stone Ages. He would just say, kill them all, That's what Trump would do. So I do think that the chances of peace and having good outcomes in Gaza and the Middle East under Trump, if you think that, then you're delusional. That's where we need to come together. We can have, like I said, we can have all kinds of disagreements about how this is being handled and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. And we can have good, logical, civil conversations about that. But at the end of the day, that's where we need to be united when it comes to voting day. Anyhow. WW says, supposedly we are training Israeli forces to do just that. You talking about the door-to-door stuff I was talking about? Jolie says, exactly, Terry, I'm not against protesting at all. I think it's important. But this just feels wrong. Yeah, it feels like a lot of these kids are being duped, and being used. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for protesting. I'm all for peaceful protesting. Peaceful protesting is the key. And when you start seeing a lot of this like vandalism and destruction of school property going on, and then you saw some fist fights and stuff going on, those are outsiders, I believe. for the most part. It's either outsiders or it's outsiders agitating, the kids, the college kids, and putting them up to it. So, yeah, that it doesn't feel right to me either. W says, I have been in demonstration mostly for hunger or for union strikes. We are allowed to have fun while we picket, always instruments and chanting. Yeah, maybe we're playing too much into it, like seeing a visual image of some kids, partying or whatever. Yeah, maybe so. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, I hope they know what they're protesting and they're not just there for the party. I really would hope that they would get good, reliable information and not just some propaganda that they've gotten a hold of. That's my concern. Big Hook says, if your focus is more on who to blame rather than finding solutions, you're not helpful. Alvin Stoops says, Trump would bulldoze Gaza. Exactly. He'd raze it to the ground. Raise it. Not raise it, but raise it. Terry Taylor says, right, Jolie, it's quite suspicious. We know very well the Russian propaganda. I just said propaganda. And how it works. Putin and Bibi want Trump back desperately. Yeah, so don't fall for it. And I don't think we're going to fall for it, guys. I think we learned a very valuable lesson from 2016. Now, sure, there's going to be some people that are going to fall for it. They're going to fall for the old banana in the tailpipe trick. But I think enough of us have learned a lesson from 2016. Enough of us are still around from 2016 that I think, I don't think it's going to work this time around. As far as these influence campaigns that Russia is so good at, and China too, or whatever. I don't think it's gonna work. But like I said, we have to remain ever vigilant, and we have to make sure that we vote. Don't take anything for granted. WW says, agree, it's all your fault. WW, gotta have the food to feed them. Michael Andrews, yes, John. Donna O says, bye, everyone, gotta go. Well, okay, Donna O, thanks for being here. I'm glad you were here for the time you were here. And, I'll see you. I will be back on at 3 p.m. Pacific time here for the House Sparks pre-show warm-up. So if you want to check back at 3 p.m., I'll be here. W says, I just didn't like if there were kids there and the chant contained dirty words. And I'm also concerned because a lot of protests, you never know what's going to happen. Even if it's a peaceful protest, you don't know if the cops are going to get violent. You don't know if there's some protesters that are going to get violent. You don't know if there's some agent provocateurs and saboteurs that are in there. They're going to get something riled up. And I remember back in the Occupy Wall Street stuff and even in the BLM protests, people bringing their kids. And I understand that, like, to show your kids about, sort of like civic involvement or, expressing, like your First Amendment rights and protesting peacefully. But I would be scared to bring like small children because you just never know when something goes wrong and it goes haywire. That's my biggest concern because I've seen video, news footage or whatever where people bring like small kids, young kids. Hopefully we don't get shut down. Oh no. I don't know what's going on. There was something about memory. I think there's like, I'm running out of memory or something. So if this thing all of a sudden quits, just know that it quit. And if I do lose the stream, let's say, I probably won't do a restream. So I'm just letting you guys know now, and I won't start again until 3 when we do the warm up show. So if this thing all of a sudden just quits, I just want to say in advance, thanks everyone for being here. I'm not quitting right now, but I'm just saying if for some reason if it stops, I don't think I'm not gonna go back on until 3, okay, Pacific time. But and just let's let you guys know that I appreciate you all being here. We've got 19 watching and 28 thumbs ups. Be nice if we can get the 30 thumbs ups. Make sure you hit the share button. Let's get the show out there. Let's promote the show. I think it's a good show. I think I have fun. Look at me. I'm wearing my vest and my hard hat. I mean, who else does that? And we're just hanging out. We got Ichabod Deers in the chat now. Thanks, Ichabod, for being here. So what more could you ask for? We got Michael McAndrews hanging out. We're just hanging out, and we're just chatting. We're just it's like a nice little hangout group. So make sure you hit the share button, and let's get more people in on this. We're at 1,717 or something like that subscribers. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a nice 2,000? 2,000 of y'all. And look at that, 1,700 subscribers and only 18 watching. What's up with the other 1,700 people or thereabouts? Where are you guys? I should be having 1,700 viewers in here right now. Why is that? Then I think about it. I mean, maybe not 1,700. I've got 1,717 subscribers, but only 17 watching. So that's 1,700 people not watching. Why is that? I mean, okay, well, some people are at work, probably working. Some people might be in school if they're going to school. Some people might be busy, they're raising family, they're busy working around the house. But if you are working around the house, you could be playing it, and you could be lurking. So I'm just trying to figure out why is there only 17 out of 1,717? Why isn't it like at least 500? Why isn't it at least like half? Why can't I get at least 650 people watching right now? That's the question. I guess that is the question, my friends. Why can't I get at least 50% of the people to watch this beautiful, very well made, very well produced, high production value live stream? Out of 1,717 subscribers, why can't I get at least 650 would only be 1,300, right? Why can't I get at least 850? Why can't I get at least 850 of you to watch? Why? It's weird, huh? It's kind of weird. But like I said, I realize people are busy. They got things going on. Maybe 50% is a bit too much. Why can't I get a third? What's a third of 1,700? That's down. Now that's down to like probably 500 and something. Why can't I get 500 viewers right now? Why aren't there 500 of you watching? I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just trying to think like. I'm just wondering. Like, it's kind of weird. But we did get the 30. We did get the 30 thumbs up. So thank you guys so much. We got 30 thumbs ups. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. And maybe out of that 1,700 and something, if we could get 500, why can't we get 500? I don't understand. I guess I don't understand the algorithm. I don't understand all that stuff. But anyhow, that's just me thinking out loud right now. And Big Hook's got to go. Continue directing traffic. I need my safety goggles is what I need. But Big Hook, thanks for being here. I hope you come back at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We'll do the House Parks pre-show warm-up. And that's where we can come in and get ready for the show. Get ready for house show. That's basically what that's about. WWE says, right after the revolution, wounded soldiers demonstrated for compensation. Took years to get it after most of them were dead. Yeah, sometimes the process is slow, isn't it? W says, like a strike, your show needs better entertainment value, more fun. That's why I like the troll a little. Jolie loves it. Well, I'm doing my best here. I'm wearing my silly hat and my silly vest. What am I supposed to do now? What, juggle? If I knew how to juggle, I would be juggling some shit. Maybe I should juggle chainsaws, and maybe I'll get 500 viewers. I'm not your clown. Do I amuse you? Do you find me amusing? I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Maybe I need to do. Maybe I just need to do more. More the purple beard guy. How's that? Come on. Let's get that viewership up. I need 500 people on here stacked. 500. Where are you? Got 1,710 subscribers. I should be getting at least 500 viewers. Where are you? What? This isn't entertain? This does not entertain you? This isn't. You don't. What the fuck? This is not entertaining? You do not find this entertaining? The purple beard guy? Oh my god! What the fuck, man? You don't find the tough cookie man entertaining? What the fuck is wrong with you people? This is entertaining, god damn it. I can't get 500 views with this tough cookie man? Come on, man. What are you talking about? All right. That's the entertainment portion of the show. And the viewership went up to 18. Look at there. We went from 16 to 18. So, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe I do need some more entertaining stuff. Maybe Purple Beard Man and the Tough Cookie guy should come on more. And we'll get 18 viewers. I'm just saying, it's kind of weird. I have over 1,700 subscribers, but, you know, only 18 want. And I love that you guys are here. I love the 18 that are here. I'm not shortchanging you guys. Shortchanging? I'm not giving you guys a short shrift. I'm not short shrifting you. I love you guys. But I'm just wondering why out of 1,700, there's only 18. I don't get it. And according to W, I'm boring as fuck. So I guess that's a problem. If you're boring as fuck, you only get 18 viewers, I guess. I guess I should just show my tits more, maybe. I don't know. Should I show my tits more? Woo! If I had a nice set of tits, I bet you I'd have 500 viewers. That's all I'm saying. Jolie says, I do enjoy timing you out, W. WW says, read the news as the cookie. Would that get me 500 viewers? Hey, if reading the news as the cookie is going to get me 500 people watching, hey, we're up to 20 now. I'll fucking read the news. I'll read the news with my tits out if I have to. I'm really on a tit. I've really gone on a tit vent here. A tit, whatever. Tit for tat. For some reason, I got tits on the brain right now. For some reason, and I apologize if the word tits is offending to any of my 21 watching. Look at there. Somehow, I've gotten 5 more watchers just for me bitching about it. Oh, Marie's here. Thank you for being here. We got Marie jumping on. Mad Mac here, Slava Ukraini. Thank you, Mad Mac, for coming by. Good to see you. Mad Mac, hey, I'm here, so it's 19 now. Yeah, well, now we're down to 19. We were up to 21. See, I stopped talking about tits, and then I lost 2. I think I just need to say tits every 2 seconds, and then maybe I'll, get more people. Moonchild's here. Moonchild, how long have you been online? I've been online for 1 hour and 39 minutes, and that's not counting the first 9 minutes of the first live stream that for some reason took a shit. I don't know what happened. Then we had to start over. So in total, it's been 140, almost 150. Yeah. So make sure you hit that notification bell button thing, maybe. I don't know. Michael McAndrews, don't do the tit thing, John. Okay. Yeah, that's probably good advice. I don't want to get thrown off because my tits are so nice and luscious that YouTube would be jealous, probably. WW says, Trucker John has been around for years, Moonchild. He used to really be a trucker. Oh, do you mean like how long have I been, like in total? Yeah, I've been doing this for a few years now, actually. So there's Marie's here, Jane Greco. Jolie says, Hal has 67,000 subs on YouTube and only 2,000 in his YouTube chat. So what's the percentage? Am I at the right percentage then? Like what percentage is 2,000? All you Ivy League 2,000 SAT score protesters out there, could you do some math for me, please? What is the percentage? What is 2,000 of 67,000? What is the percentage? So I can compare percentages. That's what I need to do. Where are my math geniuses out there? You get Mad Mac? Are you a math genius? What are we at least a comparable percentage-wise? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Michael McAndrews, Moonchild, this is just a relaxing room. John reads chat for fun. Yeah, basically you chat and I read it back to you. It's really brilliant, I thought, but maybe it's not so brilliant. According to W, it's boring and I need to juggle cats while reading the news as a cookie. But I'm glad you guys are here. I love you guys. 23 watching. Look at there, you beautiful bastards. As I steal a line from, what's his name? Phil. What's Phil's name? Not Phil Ittner, but the other one, who I love. You guys know Phil. And he always says, you beautiful bastards. See, when he says it, people love him for it. But I bet you when I say it, you guys probably hate me for it. Phil DeFranco, right? That's what I get for stealing someone else's thing, by the way. I shouldn't steal other people's things because, you know, it's bad form. It's bad form. I got to come up with my own thing. WW says I showed incision scars. Oh yeah, no one wants to see that. W. Jolie says Trucker John has got memberships, and we got super chats, we got super stickers, and you can buy me a coffee. I need the thing where the sparkle off the tooth. Moonchild, Jolie, I am only seeing 1.71 subs on here, 32 likes, 21 watching. Now something wrong with the algorithm. The 1.7, it's 1,717 was my last thing that I saw. So yeah, it's over 1,700 subs. We do have 33 thumbs ups. Thank you so much. And according to I'm just looking at my, sometimes it takes a while to update, but it says 23 watching. So since I started bitching about this, we went from, I think, 16 to 23. By my math, that's about 7. That's a 7 person increase. So I want to thank you guys. First of all, I want to thank you guys for putting up with my shit, putting up with my boringness, lack of titty showing. Or maybe I should whip out the D. No. The decaf is what I meant. Anyhow, Moonchild says no bad cat jokes. Maybe a bit less bitter though. Oh, am I coming off as bitter? Okay, I don't mean to be bitter. I didn't mean to sound bitter. I was just curious. I was just wondering why. Hey, look at there. Mad Mac is a driver now. Well, welcome to the driver membership. Thank you so much, Mad Mac. That's pretty awesome. Thanks for becoming a member. But I didn't mean to sound bitter. I guess curious. Is curious the right word? Like, I'm just wondering, and then Jolie said, Hal has 67,000 and he gets maybe like 2,000. So what's the percentage of that? And I'm so bad at math. That sounds like it's So 10% would be 6,700. I can do that math, right? So it's way less than 10%. You know, what is it, like 3%? So maybe I'm on track. Maybe that's out of 1,700, maybe 20 or 23 is like 3%. I don't know. So I guess maybe that's just how it works. I don't know. I'm just wondering. I didn't mean to sound bitter. I'm just sort of wondering how it all works, you know. Michael McAndrews, get a joke book and read some of them. I could do that. Because I can't make up my own jokes. I'm such a non-talent hack. I should get a joke book. Maybe, and read it as in a Jerry Seinfeld voice or something. In case you didn't know, Mad Mac, the demographics of the survey indicate the solution is altogether definitive. That sounded something like Spock would say. Where's Mr. Spocko? I think I may have pissed Mr. Spock off. I think I pissed him off, maybe. I might have lost him. Because I think I think I was sounding bitter on that day about something that we were talking about on Tuesday. So I may have lost Mr. Spock. Sorry to say, because I liked Mr. Spock. I liked doing the thing, you know, every time he would come on, I would do one of these. I would try to do the thing. But I may have lost him. I don't know. WW says, good idea again, Michael. Michael's just coming, he's an idea man. He's an idea guy. You want good ideas, you go to Michael McAndrews. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to get me a joke book. And I'm just going to do the whole show just reading jokes. I will do that. Moonchild says, Trucker John, I gave you a thumbs up, but still don't know your mission statement. Oh, my mission statement. I don't know if I have a mission statement. Am I supposed to have a mission statement? I know if I was starting a business, I guess maybe I should think of this as being a business. So now you're putting me on the spot. Should I do a mission statement on the spot, on the fly? My mission statement is to have the show grow. That's weak, huh? I really want to get to 100,000 subscribers because I want to get that plaque. YouTube will send you this silver plaque and it has like a YouTube logo on it. But that's a goal. That's not really a mission statement. I guess the mission statement, actually, here's a mission statement, is to get the message out there, I think, of really liberal democratic ideas and policies. And everything that I do, whether it's me juggling cats and showing my tits or whatever, it all comes from, I think, a perspective of liberal democracy. So I want to promote those ideas of liberal democracy and in one way or another, even if it's just sort of telepathically, I don't know. And just trying to be another small little voice that maybe after the goofing around, it's just another little voice that promotes liberalism and democracy in this country, in the United States. And I realize this is a World Wide Web and anyone can listen from any other country. So I don't mean to, exclude anyone from any other country, but I am American. I'm from the United States, and that's where my perspective comes from. So I guess the mission statement is just to promote liberalism and democracy in some whatever way I can, even if it's just me reading the chat back to you, because I'm going to read it back to you with my perspective. That's my perspective. But Moonchild, thanks for the question. That's a good question. I don't know if I answered it, but it was a good question. Mad Mac, welcome to Driver. There's Mad Mac. Thank you so much. That's pretty awesome. W is a member for 2 months. Thank you, thank you, W, for being a member. Long-time member. We just started the memberships about a couple months ago, so W is one of the originals. Moonchild says, you look like a decent guy. Well, thank you, Moonchild. Thank you for that. I'll take decent any day of the week over the alternative, I guess. Mad Mac, my membership ran out, so I renewed. Well, thank you, Mad Mac. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Moonchild, Trucker John, you're okay. No worries. Just be yourself. Yeah, I should not try to be like Philip DeFranco, because I should not try to steal from him when I say, "Hey, you beautiful bastards." That's his thing. So I got to call you guys, "Hey, you beautiful trucklers." That could do that. "Hey, you beautiful trucklers." Janelle Walker, oh, that's too bad. I'm not sure what that was too bad about, but thank you for Janelle for being here. I don't think I saw you in the chat earlier, so thanks for coming around. Mad Mac, actually Kermit the Frog said that. He said the beautiful bastard thing? I thought that was Philip DeFranco. Alvin Stube is over here. Trump violated gay order? I think he meant gag order, but he might have violated. He's probably violating gay orders also. 4 more times. He's too dumb to stop. He cannot help himself. He's pathological. It's pathological, I think. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be fined, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve, at some point, to be tossed into a holding cell overnight, or maybe for 30 days, or whatever the judge can do. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve that, but it's pathological. Janelle, read funny memes. Yeah, we could do that. We could do some funny memes. I didn't really. What I would like to do, like I had this one up a few weeks ago. Moscow March. That's funny. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm just pulling from what I got here. I don't really have much on here, but I was thinking about stealing from Ojeda a little bit. If you guys watch The Major, and he does like the memes of the week or whatever, I was thinking about maybe stealing from that. And then here's Trump in court just farting up the place, just stinking up the place, making everyone feel miserable, while he farts and snores like he's just an old grampy, which is fine. But you're in court, motherfucker. Mad Max says, yeah, I think you pissed Spock off. I think I did. I don't remember exactly why. I think we got into it about, I don't know if it was about Gaza or what. I didn't mean to piss him off. And if you guys could reach out to him, tell him I'm sorry. He may have unfriended me or unsubbed me. I don't know. But tell him to come back. Tell him to give me another chance. Give me another chance. Michael Manager's goal to make people have fun and learn some things. Yeah, that's a good one. Mad Max says, TJ's mission statement, I drive safely down the road, always protecting my motorcycle riding friends. There you go, Mad Mac. Yes. Look twice and thrice. Look for your two-wheelers out there, because they're people too. Michael McAndrews says, did you hear about the first restaurant to open on the moon? It had great food, but no atmosphere. Ba-da-bum. Whoops. I need to get a drum sting button. Marie Jean Greco says, laughing out loud, my Mad Mac, mother trucklers. Hey, you beautiful mother trucklers. Something like that, yeah. We're all mother trucklers now, Michael. Ichabod Deer, probably Gaza. Mad Mac, weed. Oh, was it about weed? Because I said something about I don't get it or I don't like it, but I'm an advocate for all you potheads that want to smoke weed. And I know a lot of it is medicinal, and I know it helps a lot of people with aches and pains, and without it, maybe you can't sleep or you can't get through the day because of chronic pain. I understand all that, and but sometimes I say stuff because I personally don't like it, because the way it makes me feel, especially I've had some fairly recent, where I smoked some weed a few months ago, I guess it was last year, for the first time in like 30 years, and it made me feel like shit. Now, Jolie was saying maybe I smoked it too fast. I was getting into it. Like I thought I was 18 again, and just, just going into it. So I don't know, but maybe sometimes I am a little, I sound anti-weed, anti-pot, anti-whatever. I'm a big proponent of it. I think that people should be able to do it. I mean, if you can drink all the fucking booze you want, you should be able to smoke pot. That's one thing. And I think it's beneficial for a lot of people. It does help with the chronic pain and even with nausea issues if you're under certain medications or treatments. It can help with that. So I don't mean to sound like I'm anti legalization, because I'm not. I'm totally on board with it. So anyhow, if you see Mr. Spock around, tell him, I'm sorry. Mad Max says, yes, we are people too. Yes. Watch out for those bikes. And I used to have a motorcycle. I had way back in the day. I've had a few dirt bikes and stuff, but the only street bike that I really had was, and this is like in the 85, this is way back in the 80s. I had a Kawasaki 750 LTD. It was really nice bike. And I used to cruise it around town and cruise up to the mountains, cruise out to the beach. And, it was really fun to take out. But so many close calls where people just, it's like they don't see you. People just swerving in front of you or cutting in front of you. It was kind of scary. And that's the last time really that I had a street bike. It was back in the 80s. So this was almost like 40 years ago, right? But I remember those days when I'm like, did you not see me? I'm on a big, huge 750 LTD, and I'm not like a little guy, I mean, you can't see me. You feel like you're invisible, Ichabod Deer says, yes, Spock is a 420 advocate. Ichabod Deer, I'm a 420 advocate. So am I. So I don't know what I said to piss him off, really. I don't remember what I said. Unless maybe I just said, like, you potheads or just go ahead and keep smoking. I think I said something like that, like about, maybe I called you potheads and maybe that was offensive. I don't know. Whatever it was, I don't know. I didn't mean to piss him off about that. Ichabod Deer, I just did a bong hit. See, that was it. I think we were talking about people were taking bong hits, and I think I probably said something as a joke about all you potheads. And I think the majority of you probably are smoking pot right now. I don't know. Maybe if more of my subscribers were smoking pot, I would get higher. I would get higher. No, I would get more people watching. I don't know. Mad Max says, Jolie gets her dad stoned. She's got the good stuff. Yeah. Marie Jane Greco, we watched you do it on an earlier feed. Good times. Oh yeah, that was when I was smoking that pot. That was, I think it was that was last fall, I think, right? And I got stoned on the live stream. Yeah, I did. Michael McAndrews, me and my wife and a friend sat around last night and played Settlers of Catan. We all got stoned and it was the best time. Took forever to play that game. I've never heard of that game. Sounds fun. But when you say that you all got stoned, the first thing that goes through my head is, wasn't that like Bob Dylan's song? It's like, everybody must get stoned. Michael McAndrews, our friend won. How she did it, I don't know. Our friend won. Who's our friend and what did she win? Michael McAndrews, longest road. Jolie says, thanks for renewing your membership, Mad Mac. Yes, thank you very much. That's pretty awesome. Michael McAndrews, my wife got largest army. Oh, was that for the game? Settlers of Catan? I've never heard of that game. Says, very interesting. Michael McAndrews, they both put the bandit on me. Jolie says, you smoked way too much that day. I did. Oh yeah, that's right. I had the vape thing, right? I was hitting that vape like it was, I guess like a regular joint, and I guess you're not supposed to do that. That's what it was. I didn't smoke the joint, did I? Because I had a joint too. I had a pre-rolled, and I didn't smoke that on live stream, and I had some gummies. Did I take gummies too? I ended up using all those gummies, by the way, little by little. For a long time, they just sat. I had them in a Ziploc bag. And then within the last couple of months, I started taking them when I went to bed, because when I went to bed, not wet. It's not like I said when I went to bed. When I went to bed, I started taking these gummies. And now I ran out of them. So I did like the gummies, I guess, better than the vape cartridge, or whatever you call it. But I was hitting that thing like a motherfucker. Scotty B's here. Hiya, Jolie. Did your dad enjoy? Hey, Scotty B, good to see you. Thanks for dropping on in. And we are at the 2-hour mark, so I think we are going to end pretty soon here, because I'm going to come back on at 3. So I don't want to be on too much longer. Got some stuff to do, so I want to take a break in between, you know. Michael McAndrews, first time used, can either laugh your ass off or get real paranoid. Well, see, that's the thing, is I've always, even back in the day, back in high school, in my college years, you know, I would smoke weed. And the thing I didn't like about it, even back then, even with that 70s and 80s weed that people say is not as potent as the weed today, I would always get this paranoid feeling. And that's why, that was the one drawback. Because, yeah, I would get goofy and I would laugh a lot, as opposed to alcohol, which alcohol, it could go any directions. It could make me laugh and goofy, but it could also make me like mean or want to fight people or whatever. With pot, that never happened. Pot was always just, you know, loosey-goosey laughing, which is what I liked about it, because I don't want to be the fighting drunk guy. I much prefer being just the partying, good time guy. But pot did always give me this weird paranoid feeling. And the paranoia, to me, is that it made me feel like I couldn't defend myself if something were to go, because it just made my body so kind of relaxed, I guess. And I felt slow. And I'm not saying that with alcohol that, you know, that doesn't impede you, but I didn't feel like I was, you know, impeded. That's the trick about alcohol, is you're slurring and you're staggering, but you think you're like, you know, Superman or whatever. But with pot though, I could feel, I knew I was slow and sluggish, or, you know, just kind of out of it. And so that was the paranoia for me, is I just felt kind of scared, like I wouldn't be able to defend myself if someone was going to try to fight me or something. That's just a weird kind of high school thing, I guess. But this last time I took it, when I smoked that pot last fall, it just made me feel really groggy and like I was in a fog, and I don't know, it wasn't really like a pleasant high, you know. It wasn't like the highs I remember back when I was younger. That I would just get goofy and just laugh at everything, and everything was just fine and dandy. But this pot, like Jolie said, I smoked too much of it. It just put me in this total fog and a haze, and I just didn't like it. Ichabod dear, you don't want to wet your... No, I don't. I really don't. Jolie says, Scotty B, he did not, it was too strong for him and he went to sleep. Yeah, it kind of conked me out, yeah. Michael McAndrews, I only love the original Settlers of Catan, though. Yeah, this is my first time ever hearing of this game. Is it like a board game? Is it kind of like, what would you call it, like Dungeons and Dragons, where you have like, you take on these characters or whatever? Michael McAndrews, Star Trek has too many pointy plastic things. Ichabod dear, I love really strong weed. Michael McAndrews, I have the original Settlers and the expansion. Michael McAndrews, I have smoked for over 51 years. It has to be really good and strong for me to even notice the stuff. And Mad Max says, I don't enjoy eating food unless I have smoked up and then food tastes amazing. And I love eating, laughing out loud. The last time I smoked was 2014 though. In UK, they mix tobacco and weed. I told my girlfriend weed only. Yeah, that's fucked up. You have to have tobacco in it? That's really fucked up. Think about deer, been smoking for 45 years. Yeah, see, I didn't. I mean, I smoked like in high school, basically, or junior high. I guess my first pot was in junior high, I think. And then, and then high school, and it was basically just sort of like parties, and it wasn't like, I wasn't the wake and bake. I knew people, I had lots of friends who were like these wake and bake dudes that were just, and that was more in college, but even in high school that were, they would smoke pot every single day. And I didn't do that. I was mainly just like on weekends or in parties and stuff, I would smoke weed. And then probably like into my early 20s. And then in my mid 20s, I just pretty much quit almost everything, like alcohol, pot, coke, ludes, acid, shrooms. I quit all that stuff, pretty much. And then it wasn't like I was in some sort of 12-step program. I just stopped because I was just, I guess, getting older, and I felt more responsible. I was just doing other things. I just wasn't living that lifestyle anymore. But I would still go to parties and have beer or have drinks and stuff, or occasional. If someone was passing a joint around, I wasn't going to pass. I wasn't going to let that pass by. But no more cocaine, no more speed, no more anything like that, and pretty much no pot. By the time I was working for the post office, pot was like zero. No coke, no speed, none of that. All zero. That all went to zero. And then just the occasional, beers here and there. So and so that weed that I smoked last fall was the first weed, and I think in the early 90s, like I said, I did smoke some pot. Because I was after my divorce, and then I got rented a room from a guy that I was a workmate from the post office, and he was growing his own pot in the backyard. He's the guy that grew the carrots that were like the most delicious, sweet, fucking awesome carrots I've ever eaten in my life. And I'm not really a carrot guy, but he also was growing his own weed. But the weed that he grew, the pot, it was bunk. It was the worst weed I've ever. I mean. You could smoke a whole fucking plant worth of weed and not get high. It would just, but it was pot. I mean, I saw the plants and I saw everything, but it just goes to show, I guess it's really difficult to grow good weed. And I think he just grew it off of seeds that he got from whatever pot he bought. So I don't know, but I smoked a bunch of his weed, but I don't remember ever really getting high off of it. That was like 94, something like that. 93, I think. I don't know. 92, 93, somewhere around there. So I don't know. I don't even know if I should count that weed because it was total bunko weed. It was Gonzo, but I feel like this isn't pointed down enough. But anyhow. So that's my drug story, my drug history, I guess. Scotty B says, made 3 ounces of bubble hash today for a Vietnam vet friend. He was surprised how easy it was to make. Bicycle Mike 42 is here. Hey, good to see you, Bike Mike. Hey, TJ in chat. Hey, True Stoner here. See, I'm pretty sure, out of the 21 watching, I'm pretty sure the majority, the overwhelming majority of you guys are stoners, potheads, whatever you want to call it, and which is fine. So, Ichabod Deer says, I have no issues with extremely high altitudes, don't get short of breath, I don't smoke cigs, just weed. Yeah, I don't like tobacco at all. Bicycle Mike says, I love making bubble hash. I don't think I've ever had bubble hash. I have smoked hash. But I think it was just regular hash, regular hashish. as they would say. Ichabod, dear, I will do shrooms too. Yeah, I haven't done shrooms since the early 80s, I think. Michael McAndrews, I will probably die smoking weed. Oh well. Bicycle Mike, it's cannabis. Cannabis. It's cannabis. Ichabod, dear, at 3 a.m. I wake up, do a bong hit, pass out. Michael McAndrews, at the moment I have to smoke sometimes to get through studying algebra, 1 and 2 all over again. Oh yeah, I remember. I think we've talked about the algebra. I pretty much hate algebra. I could never get past intermediate algebra in college, and I'm glad I didn't pass that gene on to my son because he does really good in math. He takes calculus and trig and all that stuff. So at least I didn't. At least that's one thing I didn't pass on. Ichabod, dear, indica and sativa, I can't tell, just make it strong. Jolie said, I started smoking weed when I was 14 until I was 27. When I had my first daughter, didn't smoke or drink again until my youngest daughter turned 21 a couple years ago. Now I'm back at it. And boy, are you, I bet. You're making up for lost time, I think. All right, guys. Hey, look, it's 2 hours, 10 minutes. It's 11:37 here on the Pacific time zone. I think we'll go ahead and I'm going to bid you adieu for this show. But I'm planning on coming back at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So here's where I probably pissed off Mr. Spock. I probably said something like, can you guys, you potheads, please not forget to come back at 3 p.m. Pacific time? And, just know I say stuff. I'm just joking. It's tongue in cheek. If I call you guys potheads and I make fun of you not remembering something, I hope you don't get so offended that you're going to unsub and never come back. But I guess that's at my own detriment if I make those kind of jokes. I don't know. But I'm gonna go buy a joke book. I'm gonna take up. Was it Michael McAndrews' idea? I'm just gonna read jokes maybe at the 3 p.m. Pacific time. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for being here. We got 23 watching, 35 thumbs ups. We're at 1,710 subscribers. Let's get to 2,000. Let's share the show. You guys do share the show. I do see that in the analytics. You are sharing the show, but let's keep sharing. Sharing is caring. What else is going on? Here we are. It's May already. So happy May. And wherever you're at, I hope everything's going good. Or if things are going bad, I hope they turn around for you and go good and get better. And let's hang out. Let's let the times here. We just hang out and chill. And, just have a good time, Let's just have a good time. All right, guys. So I'm going to call it. Scotty B says, call me a pothead, okay, but not a red hat. Laughing out loud. No, I would never call you a red hat. Unless you were wearing a red hat, maybe. I don't know. Speaking of red hats, I did make a video about wokeness. It's got a lot of views, and almost all the respondents, I'm pretty sure, are maggots, and they get really offended when I call them maggot, and it cracks me up. Anyhow, with that, just a quick reminder, guys, make sure that you do some stretching. We're going to do a pre-show warm-up at 3 p.m. It's a House Sparks pre-show warm-up where we get warmed up. Basically, we come in and we get ready to go and raid House Sparks at 4 p.m. today. All right, so I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Make sure you stretch because you do not want to pull a hammy.
Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for watching the video, hanging out with us. That's really stuff. It's very cool, I really love it. Thanks. Donald J. Trump, do solemnly swear that I've never farted in court ever, not once, not ever, not ever. It's all lies, fake news.